Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Gadsden Grandline podcast. All right, I'm your host, Toren, otherwise known as Shanks. This is my buddy Frankie,
Super!
also known Frankie. And then we got
Cooper Smith, also known as Jinbei.
Let's go.
I think we need to tell the people, hey, why are we doing this? So the first thing I just want to say is I know I've gotten my buddies here to start watching One Piece because it's just so much fun. And so as we just talking stories and blah, 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 we learned that the number one way we learn about One Piece is through talking. And so just hanging out and having fun. And
100%.
so, and as listening to several podcasts, I thought, man, I get so many great ideas. And so one of the best ways as we're getting towards the end game for One Piece is to just talk about it. And so I don't know, that's just the heart behind it. We're going to do some of our favorite things to do, art tier list, character tier list, breaking down certain theories, so whatever it's all things One Piece, but the main thing is just having fun with it.
To be fair, the end game is probably going to be another 5 years.
I mean, I don't know about all that. Like, I mean, Oda has said 2 to 3 years, and I don't know. I just feel like he's
picking it up.
If
I'm
ahead of y'all aren't reading the manga, and the pacing's so much faster now. So because of that, I'm just like, I think he's ready to wrap this thing up. So I really am excited to see.
I mean, he has been going at this for like 20 years, so he's got to be tired by now.
I don't think he's tired.
I don't think he's tired. I think he's loving it. I think he's living his best life.
I'm right there with him. Right there. So,
also, this episode is based off of the live action and off of the remake coming out, the One Piece, that will be coming out possibly 2025. So
I thought it was
we'll get more information about
2024.
that. I looked it up. It said 2025.
Well, I was dead wrong.
I'm in. I think it's going to be awesome. I'm so pumped.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get to know each other, guys. This is Jinbei, otherwise known as Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite arc?
I'm between two. One is probably Alabasta. That was the one where
hot take.
hot take. That was the one where I watched it and I fell in love with the show. Because before that, I wasn't really thinking about ending it.
Yeah,
I was thinking about maybe getting up to 400 and then just maybe watching something else. But when I got to Alabasta, I was like, okay, I'm in this for the long haul. And it's just a great story. I think that could be a story on its own. But either Alabasta or Saba Odi. Just the emotions are high. Yeah, it's
underrated actually.
I feel like it's underrated just because it's right before Marineford.
I think the world building in Saba Odi is top of One Piece.
Oh yeah,
some of the best arcs in One Piece. Period are the ones that are transitional.
Like Jaya.
Exactly.
Yeah. For me, Jaya is the most underrated arc.
But you see an admiral for the first time, or not for the first time, but you see an admiral fighting for the first time.
That's true. Yeah.
And you see the celestial dragons for the first time.
Buns.
They suck. But that scene though, that's in my top 5 One Piece moments.
That was a great moment. Yes.
Where he punches them. He rocks them so hard. They go back to the manga.
I feel like I'm feeling more energy and passion over Saba Odi right now.
Yeah, Saba Odi.
I'm telling you, they're both neck and neck.
I mean, I like it. I remember my buddy who got me into One Piece loved Alabasta. He said it's one of the greatest arcs in all of One Piece, and so I respect it. I think the entry to Poneglyphs, the mystery there, you get the entry to Robin, you get to see her there for the first time going into that Crocodile Crocky. I mean, and just the first time you really see them on a big mission, not one of these little missions going into it. So I mean, you have our long part, but that's not. They just kind of stumbled into that. This is the first time they've actually kind of did something as a crew. So there is a lot of lovable moments about Alabasta, but the political themes I think are fantastic.
The political themes,
just how an entire country is being manipulated by one person. It kind of makes you think of other things.
It's really cool
how you can connect that to today.
With political things, it's kind of like the world is moving around without the focus of the main characters. It's also moving with political themes that you see in other parts of the world.
Oda's just an insane writer.
He's incredible. That's for sure.
I call him the Asian J.R.R. Tolkien. It's a little something I call him.
I love it. Hey, I love it. Mad respect.
Yeah.
So Alabasta and Saba Odi. Okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
All right.
So for me, I'm Frankie. I'm Water 7 from the first second I watched Water 7. I just loved it. Now I'll be honest. I was scratching my head a little bit because the arc before it was Foxy, and 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 so I'm like, I don't know about that. And then I think it goes into G6 or G5 or whatever that one was. But then you go straight into Water 7. G8? That's
G8.
No, G8 was after Skypiea.
It was? Okay, so it was Foxy.
Which, by the way, I think should be canon.
Well,
I agree.
Hot take.
Anyways, off topic.
Anyways, but the Water 7 in his lobby we have some incredible arcs that we just got through with Wano and Whole Cake, and those are phenomenal. But the heartstrings that Water 7 have you have Usopp struggling, you have Robin having her moment in there, and then her big moment, and then the backstory, and then it's just the world building, and the biggest thing that I love about One Piece isn't about the battles. It's not even about the characters. It's that mystery piece, and Robin, the character of Robin, is just all around that mystery of the missing Void Century, and she was part of O'Hara that and just that whole backstory of Robin was just incredible, and
arguably the best backstory in the whole series.
Absolutely phenomenal. I just remember I would stay up till 3 a.m. knowing I'd work the next day at 6 and have no issues because I was just so invested when I was watching those. That was the quickest 200 episodes or 100.
Now, one thing I want to say is you're so lucky that your character introduction arc is an incredible arc because Jinbei has Fishman Island. Where you
no, it's not his introduction.
It's not really his introduction, but that's like
you do see. More of him.
Technically, his introduction is
Impel
Down, which is pretty good arc. There's some stuff in it that's,
this is true.
But like Fishman arc is like that's where you see more about him, and I kind of as his introduction arc. That's when you learn more about his character because you don't really hear about his character much in Marineford because he's not really there to learn about his character. He's there to help Luffy. And to be there for Luffy.
Yeah.
To save Luffy.
It's true.
So his introduction, I basically count his introduction as Fishman Island, and it sucks. Now listen, I will defend it because I don't think there's a bad arc in One Piece, but for One Piece standards, it sucks. And the villain, all he is a racist drug addict. Do
you agree with that, Frankie?
Yeah. Horty Jones, buns all day. But I do.
I actually enjoyed Fishman Island. That might be a hot take.
I respect.
Let us know in the comments.
It was the ending of it that was what really saved it. I was okay with what it had to do. The goal of Fishman was 1,000% to just show off all the skills of the Straw Hats have learned over the time skip, and so all the upgrades, and you got this kind of crappy villain compared to all the. One thing we do have to just stop for just a second, and just say the reason why he's a crappy villain in our eyes is because we're comparing him to all the other.
We're comparing him to Arlong.
To
really.
Great.
We're comparing him to Foxy.
So I don't know, but I think overall it's definitely a fine arc. Nothing, but it's just after going through all of Marineford and the post-war, and the post-war.
This is the first thing.
And then it's just I think we go from such a high to now it's like.
I agree.
It's great. We are so off topic. We're not. We were supposed to be doing.
We are very off topic.
We're somehow talking 20 minutes on good old Fishman Island.
Well, we can talk about this on a different episode.
Yes.
So I guess for that episode.
That's right.
The next topic we'll be discussing is about the One Piece remake, and do you think it's necessary?
I mean, personally, yes, it is because this show's been running for 20 years. And 20 plus years, actually. And so, with that being said, with it being 20 plus years, technology has advanced so much. Just the early animation is just so outdated.
Yeah.
Even if they just took the old episodes and just gave it a facelift, it would be better. But I know so many people that I've tried to get into it. They're like, I can't get into it because it's just such old animation. They're like, I can't.
The pacing, the animation.
And it's 111 episodes.
So I mean, the overall pacing, I think this is going to be a good for the new people that are scared about the 1,000 episodes. Mm-hmm. I mean, I personally don't. I'm just a diehard fanboy, so I think the pacing's definitely long. Blah blah. It could be sped up in some areas, but overall, I would prefer a 900 episode remake with some trim and fat and updating everything, but. From what I've actually seen is this one's going to be somewhere in 400s.
Yeah, it could be 500 around.
So they're going to trim out a lot, and I'll
go out and say it. Greatest anime of all time coming up is this One Piece remake.
I can
the
see
One
that.
Piece.
Well,
I can see that.
That's a hot take, but
I mean, I can see that.
I can see it.
Because One Piece is already considered the greatest. But One Piece with better animation and better pacing.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
some what makes like in Water 7, what makes Robin's moment so powerful. I mean, you're to the point where you're just begging her to finally say what's needed to be said, and if you trim that pacing down a little bit, I don't know. I feel like that moment won't hit as hard, and so I feel like
I think it will.
The Nami moment was well done because it came right after the backstory.
Yeah.
Robin's took a lot, but at the same time,
in the manga, it was
yeah.
more cut down. So I think this is actually going to work.
So here's what I think.
I am curious to see.
Here's what I think is going to happen. I think you're going to have people like us who have gone through that journey, who are going to be on the side of the original because they had to go through that journey. They had to go through that grind of 1,000 episodes.
Now, let the record show. To me, it was never a grind. It was pure joy. From
Enjoying every minute.
every second.
Okay, for me,
I loved it.
Except for Foxy. We're throwing,
Okay, now
Didn't enjoy Foxy.
When Luffy lifted that gun a second time, I was like, someone stabbed this man. Well, I don't know. I'm just like, no,
I know. I think that was everybody's reaction.
Yeah.
I was a little stressed out in the Foxy arc, but
It was crazy. Now listen, one thing I like to say about the Foxy arc is because I hate it. I don't hate it as much as some people.
Like me.
But the way you get through it is it's so stupid that you have to just laugh at it.
Yeah.
From how stupid it is. It's so like the arc is so stupid. You can have fun with the stupidness. If
I
that
see what
makes
you're saying.
sense.
I don't know.
It's
Yeah,
kind of
I kind of get what he's saying.
I kind of say it kind of like the Despicable Me 4.
Well, we kind of already talked about this next question. Kind of ties into what we're talking about right now. Will the One Piece be a better adaptation than Toei's fixing things like frames, animation, and maybe even voice actors?
Okay. So here's one thing I want to talk about it. Which, to answer the first question, I think it's unnecessary, but I think it's a good unnecessary. Like, we don't need it, but we would love it.
I think we do need it. I think
there's an
new
element.
viewers.
For new viewers, they need
For
it.
new viewers, I think it's honestly going to be phenomenal. If anything, it might make them want to go back and watch.
Yeah.
For me, I think I'm gonna love it more.
I mean, I'm so excited. Like, I'm just to rewatching it. Every time I've rewatched One Piece with some friends, or I just pick some episodes.
It gets better.
It just you pick up things you haven't seen before, and so on. So
Oda is just
so like when
genius.
you do the remake, I think just from the simple fact of having trimming some fat and then updating the episodes to the anime or the
But I see it kind of like in the same
animation
vein.
today. I think it's gonna be a fantastic thing.
I kind of see it.
I think the only thing I'm scared about is when you trim it down from what it is now. Which don't get me wrong, Dressrosa and Wano.
Thriller Bar.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like those
40 episodes
just
of
drags.
just yeah.
But in the beginning, I think it wasn't as bad. But at the same time, I don't know. I think for the new fans, they're going to love it. And I'm just telling you, like it's long overdue to have it. So
Yes.
I think it's going to be really exciting. To get
I think
people
now's
in.
the perfect time though, because getting these
Absolutely.
animators from Attack on Titan and Spy Family that are doing it,
Yeah, which just ended. They're
it
coming
ended.
straight off.
Yeah, so they're ready for a new show.
They also have, I think, like the like one of the directors from
Attack on Titan.
JJK. I think like the guy who's over like the action and like all the.
We can fact check that. Pop it up on the screen if that's true.
Yeah, but like he's coming in, and like we basically have like the Avengers of anime guys coming in.
Yeah,
Because it's awesome to see because it's all because they were inspired by One Piece.
Yep.
And it's awesome.
It's going to be amazing.
And also another funny thing to me is One Piece One Piece inspired them, and also their shows ended before One Piece ended.
Yeah.
So One Piece inspired them and outlived them. I think it's kind of funny.
That's it.
But back to your original question.
Yep. And
So I don't think you need it. Just like
going
you don't
off the manga page by page is what they said they want to do to keep to that originality.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be just incredible.
Yeah, and Oda's going to be a part of this.
Yeah,
that's something about
100%,
all these adaptations. The reason why they're so great is because Oda is there with them.
Yep.
I mean, especially with live action. I mean, he wanted to make sure when he was signed up that he's not just going to be there collecting a check. No, he's like, I want this to be true to my original, but also like that's the thing. That's the one cool thing about the live action that I've really enjoyed is he knew that when you do make this into a live action, there are going to have to be some sacrifices and compromises that need to be had for this to make sense.
Yeah.
And he was extremely intentional, had several reshoots of the stuff, and so...
Which we'll talk about that more
Yeah.
when we get into the live action section.
Yeah. So,
Sorry.
what was the...
Spoiler
No,
alert.
it's all
Spoiler
good. It's all
alert.
good.
So, I'm sorry, the question was, Toei is...
How will the adaptation fix issues like pacing and animation, which we kind of already hit on?
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
just simple. I mean, there's obvious spots where you're like, oh my gosh, let's go, let's go,
Yeah.
Make it up.
let's go, and
Yeah.
you trim all the. There's
Yeah.
no more fillers. You know
Like-
what needs. So they're going to trim it up. It's going to be
gonna be
fantastic.
great.
Yeah,
the
like-
only thing is the only worry I have is, like I said, is when you have special moments that
Yeah.
have all this emotional buildup. It's because you've been waiting for this to happen.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
And so I'm curious to see how
Yeah.
that happens. And so
Now, like we were talking about this earlier with a friend of ours, that Toei kind of sucks. It's just the manga is so great.
Toei, don't watch this episode.
Okay, we love you, Toei. You gave us Dragon Ball and you gave us One Piece.
I mean, that's right.
Now, I
But-
will say, off of what he's saying, Toei does drag out scenes from the manga, and they'll drag it out way too much. Like I saw an episode. I remember there was 2 panels. It was in Wano. 2 panels of Luffy just punching a guy, and the episode dragged it out to literally 3 minutes of Luffy getting ready for this punch, and then just staring.
Well, hold on. You got to remember what's going on. So Oda, respect to him, does not want filler if possible, if not at all.
Mm-hmm.
And what's happening is, I mean, he just wrote that chapter you're talking about
Yeah,
about a month earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So think about it. As soon as they're getting it, they can't surpass where they're at. And so because of that, yes, you're going to have a 3-minute prep. That's not necessarily filler. They're just doing the best they can. So
and that's why the remake is going to be so much better, and that's why it is necessary.
Yeah, at the beginning,
100%.
there wasn't that issue because I mean there was hundreds of chapters ahead. But
Yeah.
doing every one of these, I mean, it takes all these artists and all the to make this happen. It takes so much work, and so because of that, like you can't just like he knows the ending of the story. He could write it on a piece of paper, give it to us, but it's the artwork, it's the time, it's the commitment, and also like these are people too. Like they deserve breaks off, and so I mean, and they are so committed to what they do day in day out. So I respect. So yes, I know it may frustrate you when you get close when the manga and the anime are really close to each other. I think it started happening really, really bad in Dressrosa when they felt like, oh my gosh, this is taking forever.
Yeah.
It's because the show was catching up to the manga. They're trying to slow it down. Not necessarily being filler, but they're just kind of dragging these things out. Maybe adding a panel here or there, but it wasn't intentional as much as
It's kind of just that's what they have to do with what's going on.
Exactly. So I respect what they've done to try to stay without having filler.
Yep.
But it does feel like filler almost because it takes forever to get through something.
Yeah.
All right, back on the topic of the One Piece. Basically, do you think having a more gory approach with these Attack on Titan directors, and we've seen photos.
Is it confirmed?
Yeah, it is
that it's going to be
confirmed.
more.
We've
It is
seen,
confirmed.
We've
We've
seen
seen
photos.
photos.
Baratier, I can show you guys. There's a photo of Sanji holding up. I forgot the Marine's name in the Baratier.
You might want to put that up for the viewers.
And I'll put it up, but you can see there's 2 differences. You can see there's the original in Toei's, which has no blood whatsoever. It's just the light kind of blocking what's happening. It's kind of just Sanji holding him. And then in this new one with the artwork we got, you can see kind of just blood everywhere, all over the scene.
Okay.
So or all over his shirt and body.
So my one concern.
I'll look this up while you talk.
My one concern is, as you may know, Oda, while we love him, I called him the Asian J.R. Tolkien. Incredible minds.
I love it.
And like even with his age, he gets better. He's like LeBron, but a writer.
I love these comparisons, by the way, guys.
They're just
Call me your favorite
So-
comparison
That's it.
in this episode.
That's a great one. Please comment. But
got LeBron. We got
Yeah,
Keep on
all in
going.
one, all in one, baby.
That's it. That's it. The one and only Jinbei. The only
Yeah,
the one
yeah,
and
one
only.
and only.
We
but-
bleed the same blood.
We bleed the same blood. We bleed the same blood. But anyway, my one concern is Oda does have a slight problem with killing off characters.
Not killing off characters.
Not killing off characters. But well, no, he has a problem with killing off characters. Because if he was good at killing off characters, it wouldn't be a
His
problem.
problem is he doesn't want to.
Yes.
Continue.
Yes.
So, like,
Clarification.
if you're going to have, I forget his name, but, like, the Falcon in Alabasta.
Continue.
If you're going to have him explode, blood and guts going everywhere, and then he comes back, that's going to be a really weird to understand.
Although the manga gets away with it.
The manga does get away with it. But
I mean, I think
it works.
I think the reason why it was the way it was is it was 1999, early 2000s, and the show was kind of it was the coming of age. The whole story,
it grows with
everything was a coming of age, and the generation he wrote it with.
True, but in the manga, there's a lot more gore than there is in Toei's. 'Cause also, Toei with Dragon Ball, they don't ever show.
But
anything
also,
like that.
it's also I think it's because of. I mean, I know it's hard to believe. It doesn't feel like 2000 was 25 years ago, but it is. But I think that's the reason is because, daytime television on kids.
There it is.
Yeah, I mean,
you can see the difference, and you can kind of see how honestly this could change for the better, especially focusing on.
I think it was just more of what could you get away with? When knowing that kids are going to be watching. Now I think it's different. I think
it's a new studio, and I think they're going to be. I think honestly, it could focus more towards adults than kids now, and I actually kind of like that change for a lot of people who grew up with it.
My one concern is that, like in early One Piece, there's a heart to it, and like kind of like a family oriented.
I think
not family oriented.
I think there's a heart to all of it.
But like there's like a heart to it, and it's like it's a lot. There's difference between Romance Dawn One Piece and like
it's more lighthearted.
Well,
it's more lighthearted.
You gotta go back.
So it's
a starting point.
You gotta go back to the original, and this is I gotta fact check myself on this, but I want to see.
We'll fact check.
I either heard or I've read it. I can't remember, but like. This whole story was meant to be like 3 to 5 years. Like boom, quick story. Like it was. I think the original was going to be Luffy versus. Just
originally wanted to end the series after Alabasta.
I mean, like,
another reason why Alabasta was so good.
It was supposed to be a quick little pirate tale. So like, but it just turned into something. It was supposed to be against just the warlords of the sea.
Yeah,
and it was bada bing, bada boom.
And it just exploded.
But once it caught popularity, and it's like, well, hey, I could and. Mad credit to Oda for being able to expand the story to something so much more, dense and just so much that like I think that's kind of also a reason why at the beginning there wasn't need for tons of this because it was always meant to be it was supposed to be a kind of a quick story. Yeah. But now it's so much more than that. Yeah. So I mean, I think I think what you said is the original story that these most people that grew up watching it was that's some of the heart of this fan base, and so they're going to love it. Yeah. But now, though, the difference between those people when they watched it at first, they didn't see blood in cartoons that much. You didn't. You just didn't. Like you may have seen it, but it was more cartoonized and it wasn't so serious.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And now
I think we might be getting a serious approach.
Well, now there's more seriousness because. It's just culture and society. Yeah. Like think of Call of Duty. I mean, like think of all these games. Yeah, just blood everywhere. Just, everywhere.
Even like new anime. Like I was watching JJK because a friend of mine recommended it to
me.
And
then Attack on Titan, obviously, because it's the directors and animators.
JJK is very awesome, but man, compared to that to like Luffy,
to One Piece,
Luffy just out there. I'm gonna be king of the pirates.
What an impression, by the way.
You don't like the impression?
I think we need to move on to the next question.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way, summary. I think it's a good thing, especially with the update, with culture growing up, the heart of the fan base growing up. I think I'm curious to see how much difference it will be, but I think it'll be a good different, not a bad difference. As long as they don't go too crazy. Yeah. We'll see.
All right.
Also, I would like to say one more thing. All right. Just really quick. This has worked before where it kind of matures with the audience.
All right, moving on. How do you think a change in voice actors could help or hurt the One Piece? And I just want to say I'm a little nervous about it. I think it could help with...
This is for the remake anime, right?
Yeah, the remake. I think it could help with the villains, especially. I think there's a couple villains that definitely in the dub need a change in voice actors. 100%. and I think this could really help in that area.
Yeah,
what are y'all's thoughts?
I think the only ones like as long as they keep the certain ones the same overall. Like I think I'm not like I can't exactly tell you what each character's voice actor. I started the one.
This isn't the first time they've had to replace a main character's voice.
Yeah,
I think they could go off the same.
They're going to be smart with it. I think.
Yeah,
it's gonna be,
100%.
I don't think you'll notice it. If anything, it'll be a good thing. So
Yeah, because like Luffy's voice, like especially like I would say the Japanese, is iconic.
oh, absolutely.
Because like just I'm a Japanese, you know.
That's two people. That's two.
I did the dub and the regular.
That's it.
Gum gum.
I will say probably because I didn't really. I mean, at first I was like, I got to do dub. I can't stand having to read while I'm watching.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I caught up to Wano,
You kind of had to.
I had to.
Yeah.
I just grew to love. The only one I did not like, I think it's because I'm Frankie's. I did not like the super versus
I agree.
the heart and soul. So I didn't like the sub. But other than that, I mean, I will say I quickly realized how much more I loved the sub version.
There's a couple.
Like you said.
Yeah.
I love Kizaru in the dub.
Yeah.
No, it's not Kizaru. It's Aokiji.
Aokiji. I like Kizaru's regular too. The hey man, like, he's like I call it. No, he's One Piece.
As you could tell, Ryan, 100%, we are not voice actors, so we will not be. We are not up for one of these.
Kizaru.
roles.
I mean, I think I got a mean impression about Kizaru.
That was pretty good. I say yours is pretty.
Yeah, yours is pretty good.
You got a good. Hey, I like that. The blood.
We have the same blood.
That's it.
Luffy.
I will say the I think voice actors I think could be cool. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree too.
So,
Now, changing gears to the live action. Changing gears. How will the live action adapt to the likes of Drum Island and Chopper?
I saw a picture of Chopper. What they it's
I
so,
think- yeah,
it's
I
very
think-
CGI, and so I'm curious to see.
I'm nervous.
Hey.
I'm nervous. I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Have you seen the Sonic movie that came out?
So that one was good though.
See,
I like that one.
How they did with Sonic? If they could do something like that with Chopper.
The first image I saw, I wasn't crazy. It was too. I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of it, but we'll see. They're trying to make it more realistic versus just make it like Sonic, where this is not actually real. I know it's a live. I know it's a live action, so you're trying to make it real. But
How do you make it believable in the world?
That's why I like the one like Sonic version of it.
Yeah, my main concern is what they're gonna do with like all his changes, like because he goes from
Points, the points.
like or like even imagine like Kung Fu Point in the future and Monster Point.
Yeah.
It's gonna be just like it won't be nothing, but it's just.
I trust them, but they're still.
It's
I'm
gonna.
still
It's
nervous.
gonna be
The budget is not very good.
for live action.
I mean, it's good, but like
I know for season 1 it was ridiculous.
I know
a ton of money.
It's a lot of money, but I do agree there's some moments like with the devil fruits that look like cake.
you can do better. Yeah,
The devil fruits look like a piece of cake. I can't lie.
and like
And then there's some moments with the swords where you could tell they were props.
and like I saw some action moments. Some of the action moments, and there were some moments with the fighting where you could tell like. He intentionally missed that punch. Like you'd see him, he'd just go.
I mean, let me tell you right now. Here's what I'm getting out of this.
And like that.
Good old Jinbei needs to be a critic because I'm telling you right now he's doing great at it. Like,
Yeah, but you could.
I'm over here just loving every second of it. No, I'm
loving it.
No, I'm loving it too.
And this guy over here, like, I can tell that was a fake.
There's
But
always
listen,
critiques.
Remember,
No,
this-
listen.
Remember, we're talking about a guy that stretches
This
his arm.
is season 1, by the way. This is season 1.
Listen.
Think of the best shows. The best shows don't have the best first season.
Like The Office.
Sure, The Office
I will say the amount of money that Netflix
is putting into it.
put towards the first one. Just
next season.
How about the Baratier?
Yeah.
Like when you see.
Oh,
Baratier,
yes.
By the
Yes,
way,
yes.
20 mil an episode is what they're putting into it for the next season, season 2.
I think
Around
for
20 mil an episode.
I think when they get.
That's the reported number.
I think like even if I don't like this is
Oh my goodness.
and this is something that I was thinking about. I think we're gonna get to it eventually. But when they're gonna end the show.
Okay, yeah.
Like
We're about to, that's actually the next point.
But
so let's
but
go
one
ahead
thing
and jump into that.
one thing I was thinking is like when they get to Skypea, they're gonna have to like do some like Stranger Things budget. Because like if you've seen the budget for Stranger Things, it's crazy.
Oh yeah, no. Especially by that point, if they're still going, I think they will be. The show will be way more popular than it is now. I think season 2 is going to be a big boost for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Drum Island.
Does the live action have to wait for Oda to finish the series?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think
I
Oda.
will.
If Oda won't let the animators create for the anime, they won't let them create filler episodes, waiting for him to finish the story. Then because he's like, so I just feel
Well,
like,
we talked about earlier
There's
how
no way.
Alabasta he wanted it to end after Alabasta.
Mhm.
I was thinking maybe because this story is already a little
Yeah.
different in the live
Yeah,
action
I
than it
could-
is the manga.
I could very easily see them ending it at Alabasta.
After Alabasta,
I could see because
I don't think they could, but I think there could be.
No
I think there could be a way because Oda originally wanted that,
no,
and I think that
look at it like this.
no, just
How old is the cast? They're like
they're young though.
Very
so, Yeah,
young.
we're fine.
so like
We're
I'm
going.
saying like they could like what's it gonna be like in 10 years? Like
I mean, I believe there's a report out there. This is supposed to be like a 6 to 8 season
Yeah.
show, and it's going to go from the beginning to the end.
Also, Oda's watching over.
I mean, think about
Oda knows when
and
it's
he
gonna
will-
end.
Yeah, he knows.
He knows.
He knows.
Yeah.
He knows.
Yeah.
He's known since 1999 how it's going to end.
He knows
which
what's
is
going on.
incredible. He knows he's a goat. So I'm not worried about it, and it's not just that. Like if it does go to the full 8, I can't remember, somewhere between 6 and 8. But if it goes all the way to the 8th season, like, and it takes 2 years roughly, that's 16 years from now. Do you
Yeah.
think the manga's gonna be over? Yes, it's gonna be over. I know he said it before, but if you're caught up reading the manga, you know that for a fact
100%.
there's this feeling of, hey, I you know the roadmap to the end.
This camera turned off.
how long have it been off?
That camera's been on. So they've seen
Anyways,
me and Cooper and the side of you.
I'm the voice.
Oh boy.
I'm the voice.
The voice. There you go.
You're the narrator.
It's okay. You know, the first episode, it's gonna be fine. We'll make adjustments.
We'll make adjustments. There
Make
you go.
adjustments. It's okay.
All
My
right.
phone is buns. It blows. So mental note.
We'll
New
bring
phone coming soon.
New phone coming soon.
All right. If you could decide, how would you want the One Piece live action to be paced throughout this next season?
I think the way they've been doing it is pretty good.
Because you have Whiskey Peak, and you have Laboon coming up, and Laboon's 2 episodes or 2 or 3 in the Toei's.
It's
So how can they do
think
it?
about it, they did Syrup Village in the live action in 1 episode. I mean, no, two episodes. I think 2 episodes.
Yep.
And you had 1 episode for all the whole Buggy arc, which was, well, I forgot the name of that one is. So like, but
That was like episode 4.
so and you
episode 3,
finished
episode-
the
episode
Zorro
3,
the
maybe.
Zorro beating Captain Morgan and all that happened in 1 episode. So like they're doing good with summarizing everything, and on top of that, adding some stuff. Like you didn't see Garp in the manga at that time,
Yeah.
so it's like they're adding some stuff and making the story make sense. So I mean, you did 60. If you were able to do 60 something chapters or / episodes into 8, they're doing good. They got to summarize. They've done a good job summarizing of the story. So. I think they just keep doing what they're doing. I think it's
100%,
gonna, I
yeah.
think it's going to work out just fine. I think it's supposed to go. I don't know if it's supposed to go through Alabasta season 2. I don't know about that.
I'll bet it because.
But like I said, that's like a home stuff. Feels like
Yeah.
how many episodes is that?
That
80 episodes.
yeah.
It's around 80.
So
Honestly, they'll find a way to
and I'm
condense
curious
it.
to see if they even keep Laboon. They may cut that out. I don't know.
I could see them cutting out Laboon.
I see that happening.
So they might.
I could also,
cut
I could also
Laboon out.
see them cutting out.
You could still have like Brooks' backstory and all that. And by the way, this is a spoiler alert, like crazy if anyone's not watched One Piece before, or read. So
If you're here and you've not watched One Piece, what are you doing?
Hey, if you're watching One Piece, get off right now. If
Don't
you haven't
scare
watched One
listen to
Piece,
this guy.
Don't listen to this guy.
I said Toei sucks, and I said stop watching. I'm terrible,
No, you're good. You're
guys. This is why I'm not the
Well, here's
host.
a fun question based off what I just asked. Would you rather all episodes be released at once rather than be released once a week, or maybe an arc a month?
I would go.
Is this for the remake or the
This
live
is for the
action?
live action. 1 episode a week, all the episodes at once, like Netflix normally does, or maybe an arc a month.
I would do 1 episode a week.
I was just
Oh no! Actually, no. Here's what I want them to do. So, I don't know if either of you watched Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm.
You've watched
I
it.
watched all of it.
I like what they did in season 4, where half of the season was released, and then like 2 or 3 weeks later, the second half was released. I like that.
I like that.
because you You could watch that first. People will
And then
watch
it gives people a reason to
No,
wait.
yeah. People will watch the first half of the season. Then you get people theorizing, wondering what's going to happen next. And then later.
I've already read the story.
Yeah, well, people have already read the
Spoiler.
story. Right. But it builds hype. And, like,
I agree.
the next season.
I like that idea.
next
I think it's all preference. I don't
Yeah.
think. I know personally.
not that big of a
I'm
deal.
the guy that is going to legitimately wait a couple weeks and
yeah.
wait for 5 or 6 episodes before I can watch.
Oh, I like the
because
one.
I've always been a binge watcher.
I like the once a week. Like, I remember Mandalorian back in the day. Like, I remember.
How old are you?
I mean, back in the day before it.
You know, back in the day. like-
I've been back in the day before it went downhill.
You can't keep getting away with it!
okay.
But like,
I don't think it went
I
down.
mean, back in the day, it
I
was
think
everyone
Mandalorian-
watches Fox at
I
6
think
o'clock,
Mandalorian
7
stayed
o'clock, and you had to have
peak.
cable television. Now we have the streaming ability. So, like, I just say, like, right now, but I see what I like the Rings of Power. They released the first 3 episodes, and then now it's gonna be a week. So,
Yeah.
so I think it's complete preference. Personally, I'm always a binge watcher. I want them all right then and there, so then I can just go.
Yep.
But I don't mind the release half, and then the other half, like they did the last season of Stranger Things. I'm also, hey, it's a family moment. Like, hey, if your family really loves this show, and
Once a week,
and
yeah.
you get the first 2 episodes at the beginning, and then now family gets together, get some popcorn.
Once a week, you get together to see the new episode.
That's
Yeah.
so. I
great.
mean, that's awesome, and I love that. So it kind of depends on preference. But Netflix has historically released them all, so I'm anticipating it to
Yeah,
be
and
just
I will
so.
admit, I am a huge binge watcher
So,
when it comes to Netflix.
If it ain't broke,
shows.
don't fix it. Finishing this episode off with a bang. If there was one character you're nervous about in the live action, who would it be?
When you say nervous, explain.
You're nervous about the animation,
Story.
like
I
Chopper,
got one.
how their background is going to work out,
I got one, and this is
stuff
purely
like villains, possibly
I-
future villains coming up. How are they going to deal with Crocodile? How are they going to deal with his powers? Stuff like that.
Gotcha.
I got one, and I know because actually no. I was gonna say Bon Clay, but people who've watched the anime know. They know. Also, like,
Yeah, that does make me a little
That'd
nervous.
be interesting. I mean,
but
the most
I
cringe,
was saying-
the most cringe thing for me for Bon Clay, especially now Basta, was the hairy legs. I'm just like, that's just so fun. I mean,
it is funny.
but
I don't know.
no, I'm with you. I mean, I don't know. I honestly, I think
I-
the biggest thing would be for me. I mean, I'm so worried about Chopper because he's like all
Yes.
these other ones. They
If
screw,
you-
you
if you-
screw it up in the moment. They're done. Like for the
Yeah.
most part, they're done. Like they
I mean,
might,
they might
I know.
come
Do you
back.
remember?
they might come back.
No,
That's how it is.
if
But
you
at
remember-
the same time, though,
if-
it's not every single episode you're going to see him.
Yeah, but, like, I'm
so,
thinking-
I'm really am worried about. Chopper.
I'm thinking
And
about
how it
like
works out.
if you remember when they first released the Sonic trailer. Boy, people were mad.
Oh yeah, because the animation was
Sonic-
different. The
it was
original,
terrible. Yeah,
the original was different.
It was-
They changed it in the end.
They had to go back and change it.
yeah.
So that pretty much means voice your opinion. People,
Yes.
they will listen. So
Uh-huh.
yes.
They will
100%.
listen.
So
Well, that concludes our show. I mean, I'm pretty excited for 2025 because next year we got
Yeah.
2 big shows, 2 big moments for One Piece and the fandom for all of us.
and if we want it to continue, is we got to show our support. That's all I know.
Yeah, we got to show our support.
So watch them, enjoy them, critique them.
Yeah.
Just like this
Yeah.
guy over here, fake punches.
Hey, thank y'all for joining us.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Toren. This is your co-host.
Super.
We got
Okay,
Frankie.
Frankie.
And then we have Jinbei.
Same blood, baby.
Thank y'all for joining. We'll see y'all around.